This is the lesson we're going to demonstrate to you of how to incorporate the 7 intelligences very naturally into a lesson that you're doing. I did this lesson in a 2nd grade in Central Bucks when I was a principal a few years ago. I had done an all-day workshop for teachers on multiple intelligences, and one of the teachers in 2nd grade asked me if I could help her because she was dealing with measurements of cups, pints, quarts, and gallons. So I said I would go in her classroom and teach a lesson, and so I'm going to go over that lesson with you right now. When I went in that particular classroom, one of the things that I did is I wrote on the board these words: cup, pint, quart, and then I wrote the word gallon to go with that. And I started out by having this on the board, and I said to the boys and girls, I said, 2nd graders, take a look at these words. And I'd like you to share with a partner where you've seen that word in the last few days. Well, right away, when I have them look at the words, you're dealing with the kind of intelligence called verbal linguistic intelligence. Then I have them share with a partner. Now we're dealing with interpersonal. The next thing I did then is I called in students and I asked, all right, who wants to tell me one of those words and where you saw it? And so, for instance, if they said the word quart, I would say, did the quart look more like this one or like this one? Well, then they would say this one, and then we would look for the word quart. Now, when they were looking at these particular ones, the whole class is now engaged in a visual spatial activity. They're looking at the sizes of what we're sharing. Well, we did that with all of the words, and after that, the next thing I did is to use a song to teach them the different measurements. And here's how the song went. I'll do it nice and slow so you can catch it with me. I went like this in the singing of it. Cup plus cup will a pint make. 2 pints will a quart create. 4 quarts will a gallon pour. Which is larger, which is more? Count the letters and you will see. Number of letters makes sense to me. Now, if you look at that, cup, 3 letters, pint, 4, quart, 5, gallon, 6. So right away, if I tell the kid, count the letters, and you know which is the bigger unit of measure. Now, after we went through that, we've addressed quite a few intelligences so far. The one intelligence that we also addressed, but when they were talking to the other student of where they had seen it before, is intrapersonal intelligence. Deals with memories of the past in some way. Now, after that, we played a game called Gotta Get a Gallon. Now, the way Gotta Get a Gallon works is this. We have a gallon type container that we divided up into cups. And as you can see, a cup will fit on there very nicely. And once the kids got 2 cups, they would trade it in for a pint. So rather than trying to memorize formulas, we did this in a visual, spatial, and a bodily kinesthetic measure. So the way it worked is 2 children would have this particular gallon, and then they would have 4 cups, 4 pints, they would have 4 quarts, and they would have 2 half gallons. I made a spinner. Now this is made out of a pizza wheel or a cake wheel that you can get at Walmart, and I have different things on here that are going to correspond to what we're going to put on that particular gallon. I have a shoestring going through the whole thing, and it works like this. We give it a spin, we catch it, and if it says to add 1 cup, we put a cup down. We'll try it again. We'll keep going. This one says add 2 cups. Now, once they've added the 2 cups, I tell them trade in anything you can for a larger unit. So in this case, they can put the pint there and see how that works and trade that in. Now it keeps going like this. We have things on here like deduct 2 cups. We have things like increase by die roll or add die roll -1. Now let's show you how that works. Add the die roll. What we do, instead of catching it like this, we now catch it this way, and on the back we have the dice. So the die roll is a 3 and -1 is 2, so we would put 2 cups on here. Now once we put those 2 cups on, we can trade for the pint, and then we can also trade the pint, 2 pints for the quart in what we're doing. So the whole game continues like this. We have things like the daily double. So the daily double would be anything that we have on there. We would be able to double it. Well, the key to the whole thing is everybody will get the gallon at the same time if they've gone ahead and put it down properly. I'll hold this just for a moment that you can see the kind of things that we have on this wheel, but this really makes it a lot of fun. So when we're using a wheel like this, we have a lot of visual spatial things we're doing. We have the dice on the back, which is some logical, mathematical we're working with. When they're putting the particular quarts and cup artifacts on the gallon, we're definitely dealing with bodily kinesthetic. So as you can see, we can do a lesson and do it very naturally to incorporate all 7 intelligences. This took a half hour when I did it with the kids. They had a great time and they really did understand the different units of measure. Thank you.